So 2nd of April happens to be World Autism Awareness Day, and with us this morning is the Program Director and Clinical Psychologist at the Early Autism Project, Jochebed Isaacs. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Joe, you've prepared a simple test to see whether or not we're anywhere on the spectrum, and we're actually quite excited to take it.
Okay. Well, just a quick disclaimer on this. Typically, a thorough diagnostic evaluation takes 2 to 3 hours to conduct and comes with a very long written report.
Right.
So we're not going to do the full evaluation today. We're just going to go through really the symptoms on the DSM-5 of autism, and just to see if you do show any symptoms at all.
Right.
So first of all, I think, have there ever been any concerns like raised by any of your family members about anything at all with your characteristics or behaviors? Maybe the way you play with something or your social interactions. Maybe Steve, you want to go first?
I know when I was growing up, my mom used to always complain I had a very bad tantrum.
Okay, very bad. How about for you, Shaz? Anything? Any concerns at all that they've raised when you were growing up, or?
No, I was very outgoing, had a lot of friends.
Okay.
And life of the party kind of.
Okay.
I'm a lot grumpier now that I'm older.
Now going over category A, which is deficits in social communication and social interaction, there's 3 sub-symptoms. So really, in the first symptom, it's just things like the reciprocal emotional or social reciprocity. So for example, just normal back and forth conversations, which I see both of you do pretty well. Maybe Shaz, you can comment on Steve when he comes into work in the mornings.
Oh, I do.
How is it?
You're late again?
How about the way he approaches you in the morning, or you approach each other? Is there anything that's a bit peculiar or a bit abnormal?
No, I think it's...
Apart from being late.
Same old.
Same old.
Yeah.
So under like that first sub-symptom, there seems to be no concern. With number 2, any difficulties with non-verbal behaviors. So like any eye contact difficulties, or do you notice about each other? Maybe Steve, you can comment on Shaz this time. Body language. Do you find that she has any difficulty understanding gestures?
I think she's someone who can actually pick up really well on body language. So no issues there. Yeah.
I just know myself that when I'm annoyed, I don't like to look people in the face.
Okay, yeah.
But that's just me being annoyed.
And you managing your emotions, which is quite different. Yeah. And I mean, to comment, I think when we were doing the radio show earlier, the both of you use a lot of hand gestures to communicate, right? Pointing, thumbs up, nodding, shaking, and both of you understand that very well. So this category, this whole symptom is not a concern from my observation, and I think it would be very hard to do your job if you didn't have good non-verbal communication. Now, number 3 is, how do you find yourself with relationships? So being able to develop friendships, maintain those friendships, and also understand family relationships, spouse relationships, friendships, colleagues. Do you find that you've had any difficulties over your years?
Not particularly. I mean, you have your occasional squabbles with your colleagues and stuff, but that I think is
typical. Individuals with autism, they may have an absence of interest in other people. The range is that is one extreme, or they may find it very difficult to start a conversation or to maintain a conversation. They may think that, hey, we just met, but he's now my best friend. But that best friend has no idea that, hey, we're best friends at all. So all under 1, 2, 3 already shows that you don't have that. Now, to get a diagnosis of autism, you need to have all of those 3 symptoms. So you see how clear it can be to actually get a diagnosis. So under 1, 2, 3 already, you don't have anything. So that already would show that you don't have signs or symptoms of autism. But let's just go through category B as well. So category B would be more of the autistic-like behaviors.
At one point, one difficult period in my life, in my teens, when I couldn't, control my circumstances, I noticed that I developed OCD.
Okay.
But it's really funny because as soon as exams were over, I told myself, I'm not living like this anymore.
Okay.
And
so you were coping.
I stopped it.
Okay.
I overcame it myself without
brilliant.
any real psychological professional help.
Do you have any of those kinds of inflexibilities, like needing to eat the same food every day, wanting to wear the same types of clothes? Okay, like if you have a certain preference for clothes, that doesn't mean that's
Yeah.
a symptom of autism. But for some of our kiddos, they may only want to wear a certain t-shirt every single day and have a very big reaction if that t-shirt is not available.
Okay, well, personally, no.
No,
No?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then under the third point here is anything that's a bit intense in terms of interests, like a bit obsessive, highly restricted interests. Do you
Okay.
find that Steve has got any
No.
obsessive interest that
Not
he
that
keeps
I've
talking
noticed,
about?
yeah.
Or you
No.
for Shaz?
No, not at all, actually.
And the last is any hyper or hypo reactivity to sensory input.
Oh.
So maybe like lights or sounds, whether you're undersensitive, meaning you can't even hear it, or you are oversensitive.
I'm oversensitive to sounds,
Okay.
and I can't stand the sound of people chewing their food or
Yeah.
breathing through
Okay.
their mouth. Things like this
They irritate
annoy
you?
me.
Yeah.
They irritate me to the point that sometimes I am reactive.
So you wouldn't like start to close your ears or
In
scream
a
or shout?
situation where it's an environmental noise, yes, I would
Oh,
actually.
right.
Yeah, I would close my ears.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Steve?
Mine is those really high pitched, fingernails on a chalkboard kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
sure.
Yeah, that really gets me. But I don't really close my ears or anything. It's just I whinge, and that's about it.
Okay, so that means, Shaz, there may be one slight, only, but it could again just be due to, I think, sometimes when we are quite tired.
Sensory overload.
Yeah, sensory overload, or our tolerance is already up to here, little
Yeah.
things like that can trigger. With any of these symptoms that we've just gone over, we've gone over about 7 now, they actually have to appear before the age of 3. So let's say with that symptom of being very sensitive to sound and all, did your parents notice it when you were very little, like
probably
chewing
not.
gum and...
No, I don't
so
think so. Yeah.
likely it's something that's developed
Yeah.
maybe especially as work stress or things are already on your mind, so it's just another thing that triggers.
Yes.
So it may not be really a concern that your family has had since you were a kid.
No, I don't think so.
For Steve, there was nothing. For Shaz, it was just that one maybe hypersensitive sound. But if it's not impacting your ability to work at Astro, full
Yeah.
of sound and lights,
Yes, exactly.
it doesn't seem to be a concern. I am pretty confident that both Steve and Shaz do not show any symptoms or signs of autism at all.
It's a bit of a relief to
Yeah.
know that we're not part of the spectrum, but there's a lot of people that do go undiagnosed,
Yeah.
and of course we're here to basically create awareness that if you've got a child who may be displaying any type of these symptoms, then it's best to get a professional to help.
So, Joe, where can people go to find out more?
Well, we encourage people to actually check out our website, www.autismmalaysia.com. There's a whole tab that says what is autism and diagnosing a child with autism. So all of the red flags we discussed today, even the DSM criteria is actually listed on that website page, including what you should expect from a diagnostic evaluation. So it's pretty comprehensive, and you can always give us a call if you would like to set up a diagnostic evaluation.